Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth, they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
Shit, apparently everybody could be number one nowadays.
Man.
Or anybody. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild talking about the Tennessee-Georgia game. I did not see it going that way in any aspect. I mean, yeah, Georgia win, but
right,
not in the way. And I mean,
especially the way Tennessee's been playing.
And they haven't got a touchdown yet. They were held scoreless for the first time in the first half without a touchdown. Or no, they didn't. They scored, but not
so they
touchdown.
so basically they were a phony number one. I did hear some cats. You know, they were going through the information on college this weekend, and they were saying everybody had agreed that Tennessee was the right side, and then they went into the numbers and says, all right, let's go look and let's see where the money is, and let's see what the percentage of the bets is. And they said all the money is on Tennessee, all the bets are on Tennessee.
I saw that too.
They said, oh, that's square. We're out of here. We're off of that.
Yeah,
they were off of it immediately.
And you know what? Aaron Jones, our boy in Vegas, would have told us the same fucking thing. Anything over 75 to 8, anything over 70 75%,
it was wilder than that.
Always goes the other way. Yeah, I think it was 81 is from what I saw.
Stupid.
I'm dumb. I would have rolled Tennessee all day. I thought they had me hooked. They had me confused. But anyway,
I mean, I wouldn't if that number one was in front of the Alabama name, I would have did that same exact thing and not even thought. I'm thinking number one is not number one anymore, apparently, unless it's really Alabama.
And I mean, you're getting 9 points, right? You get plus 9. I mean, you got to keep it close if you're a number one team, no matter who you're playing.
That's 2 real scores.
Yeah, that's it. And there's only like 4 minutes left. All right, well, we're over that because we're gonna have to get on to the next one. Go Knowles, by the way. Hey, we are back. This is Stix and the Nos Big Homie. Welcome to the Sports Fix with Stix and the Nos Big Homie. We're the audio version of Sydney Dean and Billy Hoyle.
Again.
If you don't know, you better go find the fuck out. I'll tell you that right now. Check out
the aggression.
Check us out on YouTube, Sports Fix with Stix and Nos Big Homie. Subscribe and smash that like button. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Any podcast platform you listen to, it's there. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. Support the Funner family, baby. Chris, the producer, does not just do all this shit for free. Well, he really does, but we got to support him. All right, let's do this.
And he ain't like those fake dudes who's out here spending all the money on camping trips and all of that. So, you know what I mean? It's a stand-up guy we're talking to here.
Yeah, he's doing it. So follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow this guy, Nos Big Homie, at homies_anonymous. And I don't know how many times we have to tell y'all, use that hashtag Stix and Sports. Use that hashtag Stix and Sports. Tag us. Call us out. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. We're here. We ain't going nowhere. So we in it. Got some NFL for these peeps out here.
Well, yeah. I mean, as a prologue to the week 9, like I said, the NFL came out with the trade deadline. It wasn't a dating line. It was a deadline. I mean, yeah, some players they might get confused. I mean, you got to be clear with some of them. Yeah, they might think that's the discount on massages or something. But yeah, so that piece of information just in itself dropped off some juicy tidbits of info and game to add to the second half of the season. So we're gonna line it up real quick, and plus, there's a chance that Danny Shiesty might sell the Commandos. I mean,
is he really though?
I don't know. What you want to start off with? Okay, let's go here. I don't know.
You can go in whatever you want, but is he really? Or is this some other bullshit nonsense that's been talked about for the last 5 years?
I'm trying to jack the price up.
Jack the price up, motherfucker. Better take whatever he can get before he goes to the
No, this ain't one of those situations. This ain't one of those I'm gonna take what I give, whatever I get situation. This is only 32 of these things. Yeah, of these.
I said he better take it before while he has the chance to take it.
He saw what Walmart got and was like, oh, okay. So if I am going to, and you know who immediately came out and said, I'll do it? Jeff Bezos. Immediately came right out. He called his newspaper and said, hey, Washington Post, interview me about whether I want the Commandos or not.
Remember that was like 2 years ago. When he moved there.
Again. He just did it again.
Did he?
He just did it again immediately after he heard Dan Shiesty out there going, Bank of America, if I was to sell this, how much you think they're gonna give me for it? You know what I mean? He's really like Dan Shiesty. He's gonna ask somebody first, how much you think I can get for this?
Well, speaking of Shiesty, roll to the Bank of America, because those Shiesty motherfuckers. I've been a valued customer, quote unquote.
Don't say loyal
for 26 years,
and don't say valued.
26 years, but hey, I still get hit with that $15 fee here, $5 fee here, $12 fee here. And in my defense, those aren't overdraft fees. Not yet. They're very close to overdraft fees, but that's just a convenience fee, the service fee.
Oh yeah,
you can take these.
Bank of America is some shady characters, bro. I learned that in college, bro. Oh, they did me wrong one time, mixing up financial aid, tuition money, and my own money. Oh, they had me in the cross, and I learned from that. And I said I ain't never fooling with them ever again. Kiss my ass.
Hey, you're smart. You're smarter than I am, evidently. I get a real job so I can figure out a different bank. So what we got on the trade deadline? You got some peeps that move some places or what?
Well, I don't know. It's a lot of people. I'm just going to start off with the one that I think is most interesting. Okay. Now, it's not the biggest name out there. I just think it's the most interesting. And the reason why I think it's the most interesting, because this team not only went out and got a part that they need immediately because of injury, but their quarterback loves this position. Oh, this boy Captain Kirk, love him a good tight end, don't he? Oh, this boy Captain Kirk, love him a good tight end. Way back, even Jordan Reed. And I even told you I was a Jordan Reed sighting on Below Deck. When Captain Kirk was out there still, you like that. You like that, Captain Kirk. Okay.
You are not wrong.
Now he's the Skull Bandit, Captain Kirk. Okay. Skull out this piece. The Vikings is about to be hard out here. They're coming for the belt. I told you at the beginning of the season that Green Bay was the step back, and this was Minnesota's chance to put their foot on the neck and keep this division for a few years because of the downward spiral of Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers and what's going on there. Guess what they run out and do in division, because apparently Dan Campbell is about tired of biting kneecaps. He's done. He's full. His stomach is full. He trades his biggest weapon, arguably, T.J. Hawkinson. In division. That's how much I don't care about my job, clearly. And apparently the GM, the second and the fifth, I think, that they got for T.J. Hawkinson was enough future consideration for us to chalk up right now. Because now what am I left with? I'm Ross St. Brown, and
he's hurt all the time.
All the time. Josh Reynolds came over with Jared Goff. He's hurt all the time. So who am I throwing the ball to? Oh, the Vikings just came up with a lick. That's going to be the one. He is going to play tomorrow. And guess what? I am going to predict immediately.
Hawkinson touchdown.
Hawkinson TD.
So I wish we had more time to analyze this, because now that we're getting into the middle of the season and all these teams are quote unquote so good, right?
Yep.
You look at Minnesota's schedule. Green Bay.
Yep.
Terrible. At Philly. We'll discuss that for future references. I'm going to say not as good as they think they are. Baltimore.
Vikings?
Or not Baltimore. Yes. No. I said this is Minnesota's schedule. They're 6-1 right now.
Yep.
This is their schedule. Green Bay. Then they played Philly, and I said Philly, we'll discuss this in a little bit. I don't think they're as good as they think they are. Detroit, and then I can't see who they played in London. New Orleans. Then they played Chicago, and they played Miami without Tua, and they played Arizona.
Right.
So that's who they played.
Right.
So they're 6-1, and they're the division leader in a terrible division.
Guess what?
So
are they 4-2? Are they 3-3? No. They're 7-1 they beat all of them. That's what they were supposed to do. That's what they were supposed to do.
And now they're adding a
Buffalo.
piece. If they add this piece, it's going to be this could make them this will make them a better team. Now is the second half of the season to decide how good they really are.
Right. I agree. And I think that was because I think that because they were just about to rock heavy with the young kid, Irv Smith Jr. as tight end. He was just starting to get lathered up. TDs were coming. And then he goes down. And I think that was like immediately they were like, oh, we got to pull the trigger immediately because we were just starting to get on to something. I knew it. And I think that's what it was. Good call. Go ahead.
What they should have done is kept Randy Moss Jr. instead of cutting his ass last year or whenever it was.
that was a
we would bring him back.
Stunt. That was a publicity stunt. But okay, so you went backwards. Let's go forward since I got it all out here.
All right, what else you got?
This is Minnesota. Okay, this week, double revenge. Captain Kirk goes back to the capital of the country, boy, to plant a flag.
Upset.
You notice it ain't January 6th. But anyway, then they got to go to Buffalo. Okay, and then they are posted up at home for Dallas, New England, and the Jets. Away game, Detroit. Back home, Colts, Giants. Finish off the season. Away, Green Bay. Away, Chicago. Both division games to end the season. Now, they do have they got Buffalo in there. They got Dallas in there. Those will be some fighting matchups. They've got Giants in there. They will fight in there. They got one more matchup with Green Bay in there. Other than that, I mean, we're talking about New England. We're talking about the Jets. We're talking about the Colts here. We're talking about the Lions who just gave up on them in Chicago. I mean, come on. This team is like a 12-4 team or a 13-4 team or a 12.
I'm not saying they're not going to be that. I'm just saying that once you get into the playoffs, there's going to be a lot closer of a playoff games this year than there was last year, because these teams. A lot of the teams that we thought, that most people thought were going to be good aren't good. And now you got the teams that weren't good the last few years are decent. And now you're going to have a better matchup in the playoffs is kind of what my point is going towards.
Unless you're in the NFC. Okay. I'm going to give you three teams. And then you give me one more after that you guarantee will make the playoffs.
Okay. What you
got?
Here's
three teams: Minnesota, Philadelphia. And you know what I'm gonna give you? I'm gonna throw Seattle in there. Okay. Now, just so you don't have that crutch.
Good looking.
Who else is gonna make the playoff in the NFC that you really
guaranteed?
I mean, I'm talking about that's gonna really do something with a chance.
Oh, it's gonna do something with a chance.
Come on now, nobody.
You're right.
Nobody.
I mean, yeah. I if you have Seattle, Minnesota, and Philadelphia, you're gonna roll with.
I just gave you Phil. I just say gave you the Seattle, just take it off the table because you would have used that one as a crutch.
Well, yeah, I would have definitely used that one. I mean, you'd have to roll with San Francisco and Dallas.
But
no. Let me rephrase that: San Francisco and the Giants.
But
I think the Giants
be confident in that to for them to represent the conference. You wouldn't be confident in that for them to make it through the NFC.
Who?
So, either of those two teams, the 49ers or you're not counting. You're thinking Philadelphia
to get in.
To represent the NFC.
Oh, represent the NFC.
Who's going? I'm talking about getting in and really.
Hands down, I would take Seattle and the New York Giants in the NFC Championship right now, over Philadelphia and Minnesota.
All right. Well, I mean, at least you have another team in there because it was real difficult.
I mean, and if it wasn't, and if you didn't want me to put Seattle in there, I would probably lean San Francisco.
Okay.
Maybe Minnesota, but I'd have to see something from Minnesota.
I feel you. But I mean, in terms of if you just looked at blank, we haven't seen any games. All we had was analytics. You would say that Minnesota's ready. Philly is ready. Seattle, even if you didn't know what Seattle's situation was at the beginning of this year, you would think that they're ready too. After that is a big question. Tampa Bay, a usual threat. The Rams, a usual threat or a usual player in the game. You don't know. So, but the other side, there's some conversations to be had in the A. But the NFC, I'm trying to tell you, this is how it's going to work out. So who else got in the NFC? You talked about San Francisco. They added Chase Edmonds. Kareem Hunt was waving the flags like, get me the hell out of here. He went nowhere.
Right.
Okay. So the NFC didn't really gather anybody, but when you shift gears and you talk about what everybody thinks won the trade deadline is the Miami Dolphins now. So they add Bradley Chubb on the defensive line, who is always perpetually hurt. Okay, everybody thinks this is a great signing, but dude is always hurt. And then you got Jeff Wilson. And guess what? That's a sneaky one because this is a dude that's just familiar with 49ers and that kind of thing.
And McDaniel, yeah.
That's what they're trying to do over there. They're trying to do Frisco East over there. So he's just saying, do what I ask you to do, and I guarantee you. So look at their running backs. Mostert, Wilson. Are you trying to tell me these dudes don't know what I need them to do?
Right. Both former 49ers. I mean, I think that, yeah. And I mean, the AFC made some moves, like you said. You got Chubb and Wilson. That definitely helps them out a little bit as long as Tua can stay healthy. Yeah. But you also got the big dog Roquan Smith as his sit-in. Finally gets his trade to Baltimore, who's a little sneaky scary at this point.
Yep.
And then you also have your boy Naheem Hines from Indianapolis going to Buffalo, which is surprising to me because Devin Singletary and Zach Moss were savages last year, and they're just not as much needed this year or not utilized very well this year.
I think I know what they're trying to do over there. I think because you know how what Buffalo ends up doing at the end of the year, and on occasion they pull out the Joe Burrow method of playing ball.
Right.
They never hear of a running back unless you can catch the ball out the backfield. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to get another pass catcher on short downs and third down, that kind of thing. That's all I think. That's what I think that was. Just get another guy that they can pass the ball out to, that can, make a couple things happen. I think that, but overall, I think that's a nice move for them. With them doing that. Same thing with Edmonds going to San Francisco, because that was a homie trade. That was what was, Wilson and Edmonds. They just flip-flop. So they know what's going on there. But and you talked about Roquan Smith. Let's back up a little bit with the Ravens. So they add a dude on defense, but are losing bodies left and right on offense constantly. What's up with their offense, or what's up with their training room? Because the running backs constantly have
been hurt. You're right.
Now it is number one wide receiver.
Bateman.
So now it's Duvernay and my man Mark Andrews don't care who's over He know he's getting his.
He's going to get his for sure.
He's getting his.
And you I referenced this last week. It's when you were talking. I think it's Deshaun Jackson coming back. He's
still there. I didn't even know he was
what
still
happens. There. I mean, he just signed like 2 or 3 weeks ago to the practice squad.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just waiting out his time to see what happens. And then, but you're right. Even Hollywood Brown, when he left Baltimore, he was injured a lot. And then he, signed in Arizona. So what is going on in the training room? That's an interesting question, homie. It's very interesting to find out.
I just wonder about that, because now that we keep seeing, kind of repetitive and like a position room injuries, like the Chargers situation with first Tyrod and then come back around with young Herb, with how they're handling quarterbacks. So sometimes you got to look at stuff like that. But here we go. We talked about this offline. Hey, chess, not checkers, trading deadline, move of the year, Jacksonville Jaguars trade pocket lint for OG parlay better Calvin Ridley.
Shout out Calvin Ridley, my man. My man.
Oh, right there.
Got more games than
he's doing proxy for me right now. I sent in my picks a little while back. He's loading them up on
getting them ready to go. Good.
Yeah, because I don't have no access.
Good. That's a solid trade, because you really they're really Jacksonville's not. The problem I have with it is, didn't Jacksonville sign Kirk to that big deal?
Yeah.
Marvin Jones to a decent deal, or is it Zay, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, both of them there.
Both of them.
They're trying to just nowadays everybody's hurt and injured, throughout the year, but Calvin really hasn't played football in a year and a half and should be healthy, and hopefully he's still working on his game. Still a young kid, man. Young. Good pickup by Jacksonville. That is that is the best move out of all those trades.
That's real, because you almost can think like for next year, you almost act like you drafted the guy, basically, except for he's got a little bit of experience. You got a certified NFL veteran that is still mad young that's coming to your squad. And that could be an immediate impact for him, because this is a kid who was successful with Matt Ryan, bro. He's been to a Super Bowl before. Come on, man. This dude has been places. So he's young, so he has success early. That he thinks that he can go out here and put in parlay bets like that and not get caught. But
he's good in my book.
I'm not even mad at him.
No, not mad at all. You want to get into anything else before we hit week 9 or?
Well, yes. One thing, just because I have to shout out the elderly, you know what I'm saying? The sports elderly. A big shout out to Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 45 and I got a lot of shit going on, but I'm not leading the league in passing. Look, okay. Oh,
that's
divorce situations.
Did not know that.
Divorce situations and this and that. My team looks like straight garbage, and I'm yelling at people left and right. Yeah, I got this house being built in Miami. I couldn't get to the team I wanted to get to. A lot of shit going on, but that ain't gonna stop me from leading this league, boy. Y'all better recognize who I am. Tommy Goat.
3-5 in the NFC South.
It's sad though.
Gotta throw the ball right, wherever you can throw it to.
All right, let's do this.
It doesn't have Julio.
Since I got the schedules right here, let's do this real quick.
Yeah, what you got?
Which game is the, and then we'll fast forward. When is Tom Brady going into the booth? All right. Rams this week. Seahawks overseas. In Cleveland.
You got the bye week.
Yeah.
Between Seattle and Cleveland.
Home or New Orleans. Out to the West Coast. San Francisco. Cleveland. Back out to Arizona.
Cincinnati, then Arizona.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cincinnati, then Arizona. I'm jumping over my own writing. Carolina, then Atlanta to finish it off in Atlanta. Tom Brady is staying in San Francisco, bro.
he'll as much as I'd like to say on the bye week back from on the plane after the Seahawks scorch him in Germany, I'd like to say he calls it there, but we know he's going to make it into through the season. So he'll be in the booth for week 1 of the playoffs in his contract, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guarantee you, because I guarantee you if they are smart that they wrote it in to where if you do not make the playoffs, it's cool for you to come and
you're not going to go shed some tears and go on vacation with the family. And
we gave you way
take
too
your
much
month off and retire and then take some time off. Nope. We signed you to this contract. You will be in this booth on this day. Yep.
Damn right.
No time off for old goatee boy Tommy. So, all right. Well, before we get into week 9, I want to go over some shout out to my guy Dave Tooley from the Vision Network on Twitter at View from Vegas. Faves are 72, 48, and 1 on and 2 pick'ems.
Straight up.
Straight up. Underdogs are 67, 50, and 4 against the spread, 57%. Home teams are 66, 53, and 1 straight up. Road teams are 61, 55, and 4 against the spread, 52%. Unders are 70 and 51 and 2. 57% on the undy. And then the primetime unders are 15 and 9 and 1, 62%. And we've seen all those Thursday night games, which are trash. Let's see.
What's the thing in there? What's the out of those tidbits? What's the thing that's most interesting to you that caught your eye the biggest?
It's the unders at 57%.
I know you're in denial.
I'm in denial. Yep, you're 100% right. Other than that, it is, even though as much as I like the overs and the underdogs, it's still surprising that it's at 57% because I believe doesn't it usually be around like 52, and a lot of those come towards the end of the season when people are resting guys and all that, and the lines are a little exuberated or whatever, exaggerated. That's the word.
There we go. That's the one I'd go with.
Exaggerated.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, man. I think that first one you said, what was the first
the faves?
One?
The favorites. Yeah.
Go give me the number.
72 and 48.
72.
That's straight up though.
Blind, straight up faves. Now what that tells you is what I was telling you when I was helping everybody with power ranking and recognizing. There's certain teams that are good, and there's certain teams that are just bad. And then in the middle, it's just a jumble. So when you say favorites, we talking about 1-point favorites. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about, like, I'm talking about small money line favorites sometimes because they're so close, but they're favorites. So then you're chalking it up. But that's what I'm seeing when I'm going through some of this. So that kind of made sense to me when you look at it like that. So, and I think a lot of these games are, kind of coming down to a lot of weirdness. Like you said, we're used to, the snitching hour where the NFL snitches about what they would like their storyline to be for the week. You get stuff like Carolina last week. And hey, game-winning touchdown. Ooh, wide open, busted coverage. DJ Moore.
That was wild. Yep.
Touchdown, bam, game over. Hell no, it is not, because I decided to take my damn helmet off because somebody got in my ear. We need to make this game-winning field goal a little bit tougher. So take your helmet off, throw it around, have a party, get excited. Eddie Pinheiro jumps out of here. I got to kick this. From now, it's a 50-yard damn extra point,
right?
And
we all know how kickers are.
Yo, I don't even know if either one of them dudes, DJ Moore for taking his helmet off or Eddie Pinheiro, even made it out of Carolina alive, because they played with their fans' emotions of being in possibly first place. And now your first place representative for the NFC South is none other than the homie, Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons
at 4-4, taking over that NFC South right there.
Who this week are hosting drama-filled activity. Young Gun, Young Herb stepping into the stage. I think it's Mercedes in Atlanta is what they call their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they going. Oh, they gonna have a problem with Young Herb.
Mercedes-Benz Dome.
And apparently Vegas knows everything that I know because our lines are identical. Okay, so hey, I don't see Atlanta holding this lead in this division because Tampa Bay is about to beat these Rams. I'm sorry, unfortunately, because what I tell you, the tidbit on beating the Rams this year is going to be: do you rush the passer well? Not good, well. And that's all that's required to beat the Rams. I'm telling you, this is a tidbit. That is all that's required.
Well, let's get into it because we got 10 minutes and counting right now. Got to give us a quick shout out to Seattle and their Week 8 victory, 27-13 over the Giants. Did not see it going that way. Appreciate that it did. I'm glad they pulled it off. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than that, and I took the Giants to cover the 3 because I figured it'd be a 1-point win for Seattle, 1 or 2 points there. So shout out. We'll get into week 9. But first, got to hit the hometown plays of the week from last week. So week 8, we had, homie had his Los Angeles Rams defense less than 17 points. That didn't happen. That
did not happen. I don't even think it happened in the first half.
Defense 3 sacks. They did have 3 sacks, and Ramsey did not get his player prop of an interception.
He had it though in his hands. He had it in his hands in the first quarter.
Oh snap! That'd have been dope.
Yeah, I had the text already written out to you, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna do it.
Can't even do it.
I was like, I'm not even gonna do it. I was like, well, that's close is not the thing.
And then I took and the Seahawks in my hometown play of the week. I took Lockett over 100 yards. He only had 63. And I had the game over 3.5 field goals. They had 4. So back on the 3.5 field goals. Nice to see that hit because that is a good prop. So, like I said, we ain't got much time, but you want to roll through. I do. I'll just say this real quick. And we were talking about Minnesota's record. Since Philly and Houston already played, we all saw how that game played out. I just wanted to throw this out there, and this is part of my notes. When I was talking about Minnesota being as good as they were, is Philly as good as they are? Because
there we go.
Or is their schedule catered to their hot start? Because they played at Detroit, 38-35 victory. Minnesota, they lost to primetime, they beat primetime Kirk on primetime, right? So there's the one loss for Minnesota. And we all know how Kirk plays in primetime. At Washington, Jacksonville only won by 8. Arizona only won by 3. Dallas with Cooper Rush, they won by 9. And then Pittsburgh, we know how not so good they are. And then at Houston, didn't even cover the 14-point spread that they had. So that was my question to y'all. Is Philly really as good as they are? Or is their schedule catered to them right now with the craziness we got going on in the NFL?
Philly is as good as they are. Because we talked about the beginning of the season when we did the schedule analysis that they are a numero uno with the easiest schedule.
Okay, there you go.
So therefore, they are doing exactly what they should do. They happen to have built a squad that is a juggernaut that has all the pieces in place, and they just happen to fall on getting the easiest schedule. You just talked about backwards. Here's rapid fire moving forward. Washington, Indianapolis, Green Bay, Tennessee, New York Giants, Chicago, Dallas, New Orleans, New York Giants. Are they a underdog in any of those games? No. Are they going to be worried about any of those games? Maybe they think they double look about and they study a little bit harder for Tennessee. Maybe they study a little bit harder for Dallas. And we're going to find out what the Giants are because they'll be having both of their division games coming up against the Giants. So that remains to be seen.
Last 5.
But other than that, I mean, who's to say that they couldn't run the table? They could be 15-2. I mean, so all that does is get them the first round bye, and then possibly run up against them Seahawks and get handed.
And then you got the real game. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's
Or the
100%
get handed.
100% what we were talking about with Minnesota is that, the playoffs are going to be, I think they're going to be a lot more competitive than they were last year with the wild card team, playing
on our side for sure
and playing in. And then there's like, it's 27-6, shit like that. It's going to be more competitive playoff round this year. So I just wanted to throw that out there with the Philly question. So any of you disagree, agree, use that hashtag Stix and Sports and let us know what you think of the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think it's weird with week 9, bro. Like, why do you have 8 10 a.m. games and two 1 o'clock games?
Right.
Like, I get the West Coast teams,
how many teams were on bye last week? 2. How many teams are on bye this week? 2, 4, 6 teams on bye this week. I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, it's probably a function of the 18 game schedule with the bye, or the 18-week schedule, and then the bye until they put 2 bye weeks in there. I think that it's always going to be off like this. I think in terms of bye weeks and shit like that, like who's on bye. So yeah, the 1 o'clock time for us, it's gonna be it's all hometown right here.
Yeah. So let's get the hometown plays of the week before we do not get to them. Do you have your hometown plays of the week? I'll roll through mine real quick with the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Arizona. Arizona's a 2-point favorite. I have to add this in. I have to roll with the Seahawks money line on this, just from what I've seen from the Cardinals. That's going to be part of my hometown play of the week. But then I have to add a little bit more fun to it. I got 5 sacks by the defense, chasing Kyle Murray around. They're going to get a couple of those little, rush, but going to get those sacks. Worked out last time when I was talking about whatever other quarterback that was the running quarterback. 2 interceptions by the Seahawks. Murray's going to throw some garbage passes. They're going to get 2. And here's the kicker. Geno Smith will throw for 300 yards.
Not again.
And I have to roll with the over 3.5 field goals. Getting a little out there, but the competitive and the hometown bias is rolling hard right now because I got the Knowles tonight, and I got the Seahawks going to Arizona as a 2-point underdog, which is baffling to me. They're gonna make it happen. What you got, homie? Close it out.
Dude, this whole Seahawks fandom is just confusing everybody. Damn NFL referees don't know if the damn Mariners are playing or not. And look at you. Awesome. And look at you. You need 100 hometown plays because this is how fired up people in Seattle are right down now. I just want y'all to know this. This is real. Okay. So everything that he said is warranted. Good. And I love all of it. I've already sneaked one of mine. Okay. The Rams will lose this game, even though y'all thought that Tom Brady looked awfully just horrendous. I just told you that he wasn't. Maybe the team is. But it comes together this week. Tampa Bay, money line in the house. You stole. Great. This is another one of the great minds think alike. LA Rams will allow 5 sacks. And it's right here on ink and wax. And as a footnote, for me to be funny, the LA Rams will rush for no more than 69 yards as a team. That's what I got for you right now.
I like it. We didn't, we have some other offline stuff we'll have to chat about with the plays for the weekend, but you could always hit us up, use that hashtag Stix and Sports.
Don't wait.
Ask us what our best plays of the week are. We'll get into them. We got tomorrow morning and tonight to figure those out. By the time you guys listen to this, you might not even be able to, get them anyways, but use the hashtag Stix and Sports anytime throughout the week. We'll give you our insight. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Go to funner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. Support the Funner family. You follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow this guy now, it's Big Homie at homie_anonymous. Check us out on YouTube, Sports Fix with Stix Anonymous, Big Homie. Subscribe and smash that like button. What you got, Big Homie?
Hey, power rank deficiencies coming at you. Indianapolis, Buffalo, Minnesota, Seattle, LA Rams, Tennessee Titans, Baltimore Ravens. Do with it what you will. That's real. This is Funner.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.
Winners don't make excuses.